From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you. God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims. Well, hello, my beautiful people here on the Tiki Talk. I'm Bullhorn Betty. We're covering true crime. We're covering the case of Emmanuel Haro. This is a child that was reported as a kidnapped child from the Big Five sporting goods parking lot in Yucaipa, California. It's hard to say the name. It really is. It really is. But this is no laughing matter. This child has been missing. We're learning a lot. I've got a lot of breaking news to tell you guys. You may know some of this stuff. You may not know some of this stuff. But one of the things that this probably isn't going to come up right. I forgot to check it. So I've got 6 items here, but there really are 8 items. And one of the items is the mother. She's got inconsistent statements. Nobody saw the incident out at the Big Five. This father has a violent history. I'm sure you guys know what the violent history. She failed to take a polygraph. She's lawyered up. She never searched. There's no witnesses to any of this. And we're learning because we've been learning about this guy right here. This is her brother. Her brother is in prison for the next 50 years for unaliving his girlfriend and staging it as a self-harm incident in the tub. But the problem is it was in the middle of the forehead instead of under the chin, in the chest, or at the temple. So very unnatural position in the center of the forehead. 50 years. And so why is this important? And it's because, he unalived someone and staged the scene. We believe this child is unalived, and we do not believe the parents. We believe the parents are giving us a hoax. This is where we have, and I know that in my videos I was saying Rachel. If you read it, her name's Rebecca. I don't know. I think it was when I was putting them together. I was hearing Rebecca, but it was coming out Rachel. But I digress. Either way, her name is Rebecca Haro. His name's Jake Haro. And nobody has believed their story since the beginning. And I think it had a lot to do with Rebecca. She tried too hard. And many people knew the degree of healing for this eye. We have now confirmed something that's going to shock all of you. You may have heard this. It's just been recently breaking. I just broke it on my YT channel before I came live here. It appears Rebecca was sporting this black eye since August 3rd. This is a concern Because if you've been following the case, many people believe that when this child may have been injured was during the altercation that she got this black eye. And if that is the case, then we're looking at this child most likely not being around since August 3rd. When the child was reported missing, it was August 14th, in the evening of August 14th, about 7:47 p.m. So we assumed that this child, I heard somebody saying this is old news. It's not old news, because it was just, somebody just found this information out and just put it out on social media, I think as of last night. So, what we had thought is, we assumed that this child was gone longer than they reported them missing, but we never had any concrete receipts for that. And now we have a man that's out there that has got his feet on the ground. He is investigating this case, and he is reporting on his channel what his findings are. And he has now video evidence of her black eye. This exact black eye, when it happened, it was much worse than this, as you can imagine, on August 3rd. So we have an 11-day-old black eye on her face that she's trying to pass off as it being done on the 14th. The problem is if you've ever had a black eye or you've ever seen a black eye, you typically get hit in your face and it is red. It is usually red for about 24 hours, and then the bruising starts surfacing. And then when the bruising starts surfacing, it looks 10 times worse than it really is, because really the most painful was when it was red. And now all that bruising is lifting to the surface. So, and then that starts healing. And people noticed this right away, and they told me, no, this, because I said, oh, this may be 1 or 2 days old. And they said, nope, this is at least 3 to 5 days old. And then Justin For All on Clutch Them Pearls had a diagram to show the healing stages of a black eye. And according to and it looked worse than this. That's when it indicated that it was much longer, because the diagram showed 5 to 10 days. They had a 5-day window, and it showed her black eye being worse than this. So that was the first indicator that I had that this healing may be even more than 10 days. And now we're finding out it's potentially to be 11 days. And that's when it was noticed on camera. So this could have actually even been before that. This could have been back at the end of July, or literally, August 1st, August 2nd. Her eye actually looks... They live in the middle of a desert. There's many places. Yeah, I know, Grace. It's heartbreaking. And we're also processing right now. They're digging up the yard. We broke that on this on TikTok, and people wanted to know where I got the information. It was actually from a news broadcaster, a local news broadcaster. But she left that bombshell to the end of her segment, and nobody went to the watched her segment all the way to the end. And so that's when I realized, oh my gosh, they're at the house with cadaver dogs and digging up their yard. And I ended up having to do a second video just to show my receipts, because everybody was disbelief. Where are you hearing that? Where did you see that? How do you know they're digging up the yard? I'm like, the local news. The local news. They're the ones that told me. User, I don't know where the baby is. I pray to God they find him. But if they truly had all the way back to August 1st and maybe earlier than that, guys, they've had so much time to cover up this, so much. And this child was just a little baby. We know what happened to Quentin Simon. If that's the case for this child, we're never going to find this child. If it's another Quentin Simon situation, because they were able to get Quentin Simon because they immediately knew that Leilani was at some dumpsters around the corner at an apartment or a trailer park. So they already had, and when they took the dogs around there to those things, and those dogs hit, they knew that Quentin was, most likely in the landfill. And so This one being all the way from August 3rd, I really do believe that this child probably didn't meet his demise right away. I think that thank you, Tracy. Whatever altercation happened, and then they tried to take care of the child to, thought that maybe it wasn't that bad, kind of in denial, if you will, until they realized that, I'm feeling like that's the case, but we don't really know. It could be a much more violent. This guy's no good. He's no good. He has literally been convicted of violence against children. And I can't with this. I don't understand why he was even out of jail. His record, he even has pew charges in 2024. This guy is bad news. And the whole family has been in denial and trying to lie about what was going on in this. And mind you, her mother, the same one that's coming saying, my daughter couldn't do this, is the same woman that said the same thing about her son that had no problem pew-pewing his girlfriend. That's her son. That is Rebecca's brother that's in prison right now for 50 years, and that is his victim standing next to him. And wouldn't you know, she said the same thing about her son. Oh, he couldn't do that. We're just trying to prove his innocence. Slap dead in the middle of her forehead. Who does that? This is almost like an Ellen Greenberg, thing all the way. Like, there's nobody, like, maybe this, those things, maybe, but slap dead in the middle of the forehead? No way. Did you hear this? Hold on. Did you hear they scoped out? Yes, Amber. Oh, thank you. That brings me up to another point. And I think it was unintentional, honestly. I don't think it was scoped out. You know what? Now with the theory that this child may have met his demise earlier, almost to August 3rd, yeah, you're right. That may have been scoped versus actually, because I didn't think that these injuries on the mom's face happened all the way back August. I'm not familiar with the healing of black eyes, but I can say that a week prior to, allegedly, the mom, Rebecca, and the husband, Jake, went inside that store and said that their vehicle had been broken into, and that's when they learned that there are no cameras in that parking lot. And you're right. Now that we know that she's been sporting this black eye for a while, you're right. That could have been scoping the place out to set the hoax a week earlier. Wow. The baby clearly had some brain trauma, so probably, yeah. There was a gash in the sister's trying to say, oh, he's got a lazy eye. Really? I've seen lazy eyes before, and I didn't know they came with a pair of scars. Sorry. It looked like that child ate a corner of a freaking door jamb. That child can't even walk. The child's not responsible for himself. There's no reason why a child at 7 months should have one injury on them. Not one. You don't let your 7-month-old child play with a 4-year-old kid. Oh, here, I'll show you. Hold on, I've got the photo. Give me a second. Hold on a second. Here it is. Right there. That's a scar. Right there. Right there on his eye. His eye, when we looked at pictures younger than him, he didn't have his eye deformed like this. That's a scar. That goes slap up past his eyebrow. Where's mine? I think it's on this side. Hold on. I got one too, but mine, I think it's this one. My scar's healed. My scar, and I kissed the corner of a door jamb. All by my own doing. And I don't have a scar like that. This is a 7-month-old baby. This child does not walk on his own. The only way this child is getting injuries is if somebody is not taking care of this child or intentionally injuring this child. 7 months old. 7 months old. There's no reason why he should have this big laceration above his eye. And for the family to say he just has a lazy eye, that tells me that these parents, when this child got injured, never took him to a doctor. And when his eye was deformed, they just passed it off as he's got a lazy eye. Nothing to see over here. The photos of this baby, like every single photo they try to produce of this child looks so sad. This right here, I believe, is a swollen cheek. Right here. I feel like this is a swollen cheek. Right here. I'm so angry over this case. It's not funny. And yeah, Adriana, it's possible. This man is a violent man. He should never be around children. And I know how you guys feel. You know, I know some of this, especially this platform, is hyper aware of, you know, the things that are going on in this country that they may or may not like. I'm not getting into that. You know, somebody like this being deported, I'm perfectly fine with. Maybe people are up in arms with me saying that. I apologize if it upsets you. But he's not even supposed to be here. And this is not the first violent crime. I don't know why he's here to cause this damage, is my point. And I know that upsets people. And again, I'm very sorry if it offends you. I'm not trying to be offensive, but there are just some people that I believe that if they're here when they're not supposed to be and they do something like this, then their butts need to go back where they came from. And this is one of those such people that I hope they get out. He's already hurt and damaged one child, and now we have this baby that is missing, and I guarantee he is the culprit. I believe the woman, and I'm not giving her a free pass whatsoever, I believe she is a battered wife, but she has made her bed, she's made her decision, her children have been removed from the home, and she is still with this man. She gets no pity from the true crime community here. Yes, Blue Jay. She gets no pity from the true crime. She made her choice. It was either her children or him. All of her children have been ripped from her, and she's still with him. So, you know, I'm sorry, we don't give free passes even with battered wives when it comes to the children. And so she's in the same category as him. She made her bed, she's going to have to lie in it, and I want her in jail as well because she had an opportunity and a duty to stand up for her child. We are just coming off the Devil Den homicides where two parents lost their life protecting their children. There is no good excuse whether she is in fear for her safety or not. That fear should have been overrode by the need to protect her child. But if you ask me who the culprit is, I believe it's this man right here. But she enabled him to do it and still is enabling him to this day, and she's got to pay for that. And I know our court system, she can challenge, she can, you know, in extenuating circumstances is her own abuse at the hands of him, and that will come into court at some point, but she needs to go right along with him. She had an opportunity over and over and over again while she was alone with law enforcement to ask for help and to get her out of this situation, and she chose every single time to continue to lie and to continue to deceive, and this baby is still missing. So we can't have a bleeding heart for this woman anymore, okay? She's made her decision, and that's where I stand on it. I pray that they find this child, but we're learning now that it is becoming very, very difficult because they've had plenty of time, and I truly believe this child has been gone for obviously more days than I even imagined. So I'll keep you guys posted. If you guys do see anything, if you guys do hear anything, if you'd be so kind to send that stuff over to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com so I can review it and make sure other people have the information out there about this child. If anybody knows where this child is, if anybody see saw either of these people, let me get the photo back up here. If you guys have seen them anywhere between before August, maybe the 1st of August to the 14th, please reach out to law enforcement. This is about finding this baby and bringing this baby home. We all know that this child most likely is not going to come home healthy, but he still deserves the dignity and respect of being, laid to rest. And this baby deserves that. It sounds like he's had a really rough life since the day he was born, and all of our hearts bleed for that. So anyways, guys, have a great day. I'll keep you guys posted, and I'll try to get some videos rolled out maybe later this evening. I got a lot of work to do. I'm just trying to get my social media stuff done so I can kind of focus on the rest of the day of things I need to do. So I appreciate it, and I hope you guys take care. God bless.